Okay, so what this points to is that everything is whole and complete, that all there is what apparently happens, and it's naturally fine. That's what's meant when I say it's whole and complete. It's the natural reality. It doesn't doubt itself, so to speak. It just is itself. What happens, what apparently happens, just is itself. There's nothing else, so to speak. There is no hidden reality. There is no second layer. There is no absolute reality, which is separate from sitting in front of a screen and thinking and feeling. It's just perfect in that sense. What happens is utterly perfect. It's the natural reality. On the other hand, what's being pointed out here is that there is no separate experiencer. And this impression that what happens isn't whole and complete is part of that setup. It's part of the illusion that there is a separate experiencer, is that feeling that something is missing on a very profound level, so to speak. Of course, within the personal experience, it can also be good and bad, and it can feel pleasant and all those things. But still, there is this assumption that something is missing, and that life is about something, that there is something deeper that can be found in life, and that has to be found in the end. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I don't say that this is wrong or that this needs to go away or something. No, this impression is the same wholeness that we talk about. It's equally whole and perfect. However, never within the person's experience. It is whole and perfect exactly as what it is, namely the illusion of separation and the illusory sense of lack. Liberation would be when this impression turns out to be illusory, when the illusion turns out to be an illusion, so to speak. That's liberation. And then this whole experience of lack, this whole experience of separation and lack just fades or drops. This is not logical. The story that I was telling isn't logical. This can't be understood really. How apparently there can be this deeply felt sense of lack and seemingly a lot of actions and thoughts and feelings coming out of that, and how this can turn out to be completely illusory and drop. This story doesn't make sense. However, this is what seems to be happening. This is wholeness as that. All of this would be whole and complete. And there is never a movement from less wholeness to more wholeness. This can't happen. This will never happen, because there isn't anything like less or more wholeness. So that's it. There isn't anyone. This is not a teaching. There isn't anyone who will gain anything from that, in the sense that there is a movement from less to more, or from illusion to clarity or something. This will never happen. This doesn't need to happen. So this is not a teaching. However, this is it. This apparent pointing to this being whole and complete is whole and complete. This is it. This is how wholeness looks and feels and thinks. It's this. So anyone who wants to say something about that, or prove me wrong, or say that there is someone, or whatever, it's welcome. No. All right. Question in the chat. Hi, Andreas. When someone intelligent listens long enough to this message, he can talk like one of those non-dual speakers. Yes, well, to be honest, you don't even have to be too intelligent to do that. It's just a few sentences that work. Okay, no problem. Can you tell the difference between a speaker whose me sense has really dissolved and a speaker who just speaks out of a very good intellectual understanding of this message? Oh, well, I don't know. Yes, kind of, probably, at some point, maybe not instantly. If someone just goes on saying there is no one, well, all right, well, but I think at some point it would become obvious, I would say, if apparently this comes from the sense of me or not. But of course, my discrimination would also be apparent, and it wouldn't be the truth, because this discrimination isn't real already, coming from a sense of me or not. I mean, this doesn't really happen in that sense. But yes, my impression is it would become obvious at some point. Because I think it's impossible really to hide an intention. And of course, whenever there is a person, they will present those concepts and those ideas with an underlying intention, either for them to be admired or to make money or to help poor seekers find enlightenment or find happiness or something. And I think this can't really be hidden over time. It'll just pop, it'll just show itself more and more. After a while, at least. Not that it matters. I mean, it would be, as I said in the beginning, it would be the same wholeness. There wouldn't be anything bad or wrong about it, of course. It'll be totally fine for no one. I wouldn't think that this is wrong and shouldn't happen. Oh, it's totally fine that it happens. And it probably is inevitable that something like that apparently happens. And the speaker would probably say, there is no intention. This is only what apparently happens. Oh yeah, of course. Oh yes, this sentence would be part of the trained language, of course. Oh yeah, yes, definitely. Yeah. But again, he or she would say this sentence with an intention. But yeah. The whole thing is it just wouldn't matter. It would just be what apparently happens. That's the thing. It just wouldn't matter at all. Though probably in the speaker's own impression, it would matter. But this doesn't matter either. So as if anyone would care. Would you feel this hidden intention energetically? Well, yeah, I think so, yeah. As I said, at some point, I mean, most people who are here would do that. It's not a special ability that I have. I think it would just become even unconsciously, probably. There wouldn't be an attraction to the speaker. If you call this energetically or what, I have no idea. I mean, it would be equally useless to listen to them than it is to listen to me. So you might even feel better attending their meeting because they seem to give something. And we all feel so non-dual, and it's great to be non-dual, and how gorgeous it is to be without me, and whatever. I don't know what they would say, but something like that. Well, yeah, those speakers are popping up like mushrooms at the moment. I wonder if all of them really lost their sense of me. Yeah, well, I think we don't need to go down this road now.
Andreas, hello. When you say all there is what happens, and then you add the apparently what happens, are you making a distinction between what happens and what apparently happens? Or what's the apparently address that the first part of that phrase doesn't?
Well, I think when I say all there is what happens, it's much more easily to be misunderstood than this here and now. All there is this moment or something, and that there is a real happening. And in the end, that's not really what I mean, or what this is. Yeah, pointing to.
Okay. So
I mean, it's something that the person can understood. That's what I mean when I say all there is what happens. The person would translate it into, yes, true. All there is what I'm aware of right now. And so all there is what happens for me right now.
okay.
That's
So
just not how it's meant.
The apparent part, which could you also say that all there is, or that the fact that it's apparent means it's not really happening? I guess what I'm confused about is how the me plays into, the me has an interpretation of what's happening, but that's not the apparent. Is that the apparent part that you're referring to? Is what the me perceives as what's happening?
Yeah, not really. I understand. The thing is that perceiving itself isn't real. So I don't only say that the interpretation of what happens is the dream, the experience of this being something already is dreamt. So to even speak of a happening
Okay.
itself is kind of already a story.
So you could equally say that all there is nothing happening, nothing appearing to happen. Is
Yes,
that
exactly.
that's the
Yes,
same?
exactly. Yeah. And then you can't really limit it. It's boundless. It's boundlessness apparently being this.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Yes.
I guess the other part of that that I get confused about is the me doesn't actually drive anything. The me's not, it doesn't, there is no me. So the me it can't create, suffering or joy or whatever. The me has no, it's not there. So so sometimes we talk, sort of in terms of, that's the me that is making you unhappy or whatever, but that's not that can't really be the case, I guess.
Yes. Yes, that's the funny thing with this communication, that inherently it says that all that suffering doesn't happen.
Right.
Yes.
So the me, since there's no me, the me can't do anything.
Yes, the me isn't doing anything. There
Right.
isn't anyone. Yes. And that's the funny thing, the suffering that so many people report about, I'm not enlightened, I'm not a happy person, I'm not fulfilled yet, that this that this suffering is completely dreamt.
Uh-huh.
And I can't explain that. It's a dream that there are unfulfilled people walking on this earth. But yet so many people claim that. And
Right.
it's not logical and it doesn't make sense.
Okay.
Mm.
Good to know. Thank you.
Yes, thanks. Of course, the me isn't doing anything, but then suddenly there is but I'm here and I'm unfulfilled. No, no, there isn't anyone. It's a dream. Yeah. I hear you. I understand. But how can you find an answer to that? It's so illogical. It doesn't make sense. Okay, a question. Me is always going to be confused about this. Oh yes, of course. The me itself is a question mark. It's an energetical question mark. It's just part of this illusion to be someone is a question about life, is seeking. That's what basically seeking is. And it will never be answered. So yes. Yeah. So nothing leads to or equals something else now or in imagined future. There is absolutely nothing the imagined me does. It all already is, and nothing is happening. Yes, exactly. Yes. That's why this is not a teaching. It's an apparent pointing out of this, which in itself is useless. Yes, there is no one. This is whole and complete. This is nothing happening. Absolutely. Yeah. No one's doing anything. This is already utterly uncontrolled and whole and complete and perfect for no one. There's no movement from less wholeness to more wholeness. That's what the person hopes, that after a path, after a step that I take, after time passing, there will be an experience of more wholeness. And it will be conscious and clear, and I will see it and I will be able to state it. Now it's whole and complete, much more compared to before. And this will never happen. Impossible. And it doesn't need to happen. That's the good news. That's the freedom about this already. I mean, it never needed to happen. The idea that this needs to happen is just part of the dream. What the person longs for and hopes for isn't needed. Personal fulfillment. And it, as I said, it never was needed. It was just a dream for 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years. Mhm. So there is apparently pointing, but not to anything. Yes, absolutely. Yes. Yep. This isn't even really pointing to something. I don't want to show you anything. So the person might think I'm speaking to make a point, to point something out, to make something obvious, to teach something. No, no. Apparently there's just speaking or a direction. Yes, exactly. Yeah, of course, pointing, seeking, teaching always has a direction, of course. And pointing out that this is whole and complete doesn't make it more whole and complete. Okay, Maureen. But you have to turn on your microphone first. Yes.
Hi.
Hello.
And along that same line, the me also projects that you're doing this for a reason, and that if theoretically the me drops, then it will look like this, or this will happen, or I won't attend meetings anymore, or I'll start my own group, or it really just has no end to the future planning or attributing meaning, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Totally. Yes.
Mm.
Yep. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, of course. Mhm. That's the thing. The person has this deep impression that we are doing this, or that someone is doing this in order to make something happen. And even if it's just those small insights, the small moment of, now I see something. Now something became clear, and that I'm doing this in order for those moments to happen. Those small insights or the big insight, that's what the person is assuming and hoping for, and all that stuff, just as it knows it from from teachings or from other events, let's put it like this, where it's always about somehow creating some kind of effect, a certain feeling, a certain outcome, silence in the mind, a bit more relaxed, insights, whatever. And this is just not happening here. Of course, the seeker is looking for that. It's constantly watching the effects of that, but it's not intended, and it's not about that. And there is no one here trying to make this happen, anything happen. Yes.
And it's impossible for the mind or the me to conceive of what you're describing. It's just impossible.
Impossible because it's not its experience, and it contradicts its experience that it has or had for all its life, apparently. Well, even if it somehow accepts, which it never does, but even if it somehow accepts the idea or the concept that there is no intention, it can't conceive it, what this actually means and how this is possible.
Right, that it'll start to pretend that it perceives it, or it will start to, I mean, it'll have a conceptual relationship to what you're describing and may think that's it, but actually it isn't.
Yes, exactly. And it instantly will, of course, add a good and bad to it.
Yeah.
That this is the right way to
Yeah.
be, or that this is better or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody will love me. Yeah.
Yes. It hopes that it works better then. Okay, question in the chat. Experiencing is me? Yes, that's how I would put it. Yes, me experiencing, being aware of, to be conscious of, perceiving, noticing. Yes, this would all be the description of something that doesn't exist. That would all be the me. Yes. That's how it seems to feel when there is the report of, I am someone. I mean, that's maybe also what the question was before about this, what is, what's the difference? For the person sitting in front of a screen would be an experience. And the underlying impression would be, well, this is what I experience now. And that's real, and I'm real. And my present experience that I sit in front of a screen now is just a part of something bigger, my life. So for the person, everything only seems to be an experience. That's the personal world. Thoughts are experiences only. Feelings are experiences. This moment is only an experience. Yeah. But that's the dream, that this is only an experience that I have right now. Oh no, it's wholeness. It's boundless, it's whole and complete, it's free and wild and inexperienced and meaningless. Already. It still is sitting in front of a screen. It still is this. It hasn't become anything else by me saying it's boundless and whole and complete. It's not some metaphysical, unseen reality or something. No, it's still this. It hasn't changed. It hasn't changed at all from an experience to boundlessness. No, it was just an illusion that this is an experience for someone. It never was. Okay. In one of the last meetings, you said that hearing, seeing are not experiences. Could you elaborate on this? Yes, that's what I just meant right now. It's a dream that these are experiences, including one's own body. I mean, for the person, one's own body or the functions of one's own body would be only experiences as well. The person never sees or hears or feels or thinks. It only experiences how it is to feel or to think, or to walk around, or to see, or to hear. But that is the illusion, that those things are only experiences for someone. They aren't. They are the unknown. They are wholeness. Seeing, walking, hearing are not experiences. They are the unknown, the unknown perfection that we talk about. but for no one. Oh dear. Okay, not being assertive enough can still apparently happen. Okay, help me someone. What's assertive in German? Or I look it up. All right. Oh yes, absolutely. Oh yes, that's but yes, I know. Yeah. Oh yes, that can definitely happen. Yes. Well, only apparently, of course, fortunately, but yes.
Well, being assertive is such a personal thing because you have a point that you have to overlay on somebody. So I think that even the question comes from a personal perspective, because it has to, when they're, you're, like you said, you're not giving this meeting for a purpose.
Yes.
You're not trying to be assertive with us in order to
oh yeah, that's true. That's
make your point, make us understand. Assertive means that you want somebody to make you to perform to your demands or make them understand something.
yes. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. But sometimes apparently I'm not really assertive in a way that in telling my son that he's too loud for me. So then I might look like a wimp. It would just be the personality. That's
just your character.
Exactly. That's what I mean. The character could be apparently more or less in a certain way, whatever that means. Yeah.
Wimpness is in your DNA.
Yeah, that's. I wouldn't go that far, Joe. And you know that. It's just in minor details where I'm wimpish. In questions of life and death, I'm spot on. Yes, it doesn't have to be from a person. Yeah, it would just be the character can seem like one or the other way. But the funny thing is that in its own way, this would be total and whole and complete. So wholeness would be very assertive in being an apparent person who isn't very assertive. So, yes, is there a possibility that there could be a creator? Well, the thing is, no, no, but so this opens up a nice discussion. But why? Why can't there be? Well, the thing is that this whole reality doesn't exist as such, where this question can be asked. The thing is that the whole question is asked within a reality that doesn't exist. Can there really be a creator, or isn't there one really? That's the question. The problem is that there is nothing real in the first place. So it's a purely theoretical question without an answer. because conceptually everything is possible. Why not? So
When, oh, sorry.
yeah, please.
When the two of you were just talking about assertiveness, even though it appears to be something that's being put forth, I mean, assertiveness or passivity or whatever, the underlying thing that's happening there with the me is getting something. It's getting something, right? I mean, the me is defined by its intention of whatever it's doing. When you talk about the experiencer, it's the underlying motivation just tends to be getting something, always wanting to get something.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yes, which never works out, but yes. Comment, there is never a person. Yes, there is no I, exactly.